ERC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
You clicked on the Weather Xtreme video from ABC 3340. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters with you, and I'm coming to you this morning from the Windy City, from Chicago, with this weather update. And let's go ahead and take a look at what I saw yesterday, and this is the view from the 103rd floor of the Sears Tower, the sky deck, and just a beautiful view as we look out over Lake Michigan and the center of Chicago. And Navy Pier is there just a little to the right of the center. This morning, our Skycam network shows a good deal of clouds across central Alabama from all the thunderstorms and showers that occurred yesterday. There's a look from the Compass Bank building, the Daniel building, downtown Birmingham, and there's a look at Demopolis. Looks like a little bit of moisture, low-level moisture and fog that is occurring this morning. And there's a look from Mount Cheaha as we look over the lodge and the restaurant up there, the hotel, from the restaurant. Now, this morning, it looks like we've got a bit of a boundary across the area, and that combined with some little disturbances in the upper atmosphere and a general troughiness over the eastern half of the country means that we're going to see the possibility of showers and thunderstorms. And radar this morning already showing a good deal of showers and thunderstorms as we look at the composite radar over the southeastern U.S., and I don't think everybody will get wet, but it certainly is a possibility that we'll see some showers. Now, the temperatures still relatively nice for this time of year, for August, with a little bit of a cooler strip across the northern tier of the United States, and still warm along the Gulf Coast with morning lows generally in the 70s. And here in central Alabama, we were ranging from about 68 there at Anniston all the way up to about 70 at Birmingham and Tuscaloosa this morning. Now, all the attention's turning to the tropics. We've got two waves, one in the central Atlantic that appears headed to the west-northwest, and then we have Faye, which is over Hispaniola. It looks like this morning that Faye is actually located right over the southwestern part. And this infrared picture certainly shows a good deal of the convection flaring up to the south of the center, but it looks like the center may be emerging out from the land. The latest advisory indicated Faye was inland, but it certainly looks like there's a possibility that the eye is coming out over the water, and it looks like a track that's going to take it over the warmer water just south of Cuba. I don't have sea surface temperatures for Cuba, but this is for the Gulf, and certainly warm in the future track or the future course over the eastern Gulf. And here is the computer model composite of all the different computer models for the future track of Faye. Most of these are 0Z or 06Z results, and that certainly jives with where the National Hurricane Center is forecasting it to go. Also forecasting it now to become a hurricane as it comes over Cuba and then into the Florida Straits and heading up into the eastern Gulf. Now, that future course is still in question, and you're going to see the GFS doesn't exactly go with that. Now, the future course is going to mean for the QPF the possibility of a good deal of rain over the southeastern U.S. over the next week or so, but this now only goes through Wednesday afternoon, and you can see as much as 4¼ inches over the Florida Peninsula, as well as a good deal of rain over Texas. The Storm Prediction Center is not outlooking a specific area for severe weather today, but New England, the northern Great Lakes, and Texas are outlooked for severe. All right, here's the 06Z GFS model run. Here's our trough this afternoon at 1 o'clock over the eastern half of the country, and a little weaknesses. You can see kind of a little troughiness, a little short wave moving through the southeastern U.S., and then we've got that low back out over northwestern Colorado, and that certainly means that a good deal of showers over Mississippi and Alabama and parts of Louisiana, and then of course a good deal of rain out there in West Texas. Now the atmosphere seems to dry out just a little bit as we see fewer disturbances on Sunday. Think the better chance for showers is going to come across southern Alabama. Now, the troughiness continues to stay with us on Monday, and now we can see the little X there over the Florida Straits, the GFS picking up on Faye, and there's the surface pattern, and of course, we're pretty much appear to be dry for this situation, for this particular time. Now on Tuesday, this is where the GFS seems to have a more eastern track, and I think the National Hurricane Center track is probably a lot more realistic. The GFS, you can see it over the Central Florida Peninsula, somewhere in the vicinity of Orlando. And then here's the surface pattern, and of course we stay relatively dry with this. Um, Once again, the possibility of an isolated shower not out of the question, but I doubt it. Now, by Wednesday, the GFS has it off Jacksonville, and you can see that location there, or in the vicinity of Jacksonville. And that's not too far from the general consensus of the computer model runs. By Thursday, Faye seems to be dissipating over the southeastern U.S. However, due to the upper air pattern, I'm a little concerned that we may see a repeat of the Alberto back in the, I think it was the late 80s or so, or early 90s rather, where we ended up with a lot of rain over the southeastern U.S. And here's our forecast for Friday as the conditions continue to dissipate. Now, we're getting more ridging across the southern tier of the United States. This is Saturday, a week from today, with a good short wave moving across the north central United States. And that will be bringing a front, of course, across the northern tier of the United States. But on Sunday, that little bowling ball, that little short wave heads across the Great Lakes, and the surface low over the Great Lakes with the front trailing down into the central U.S. So certainly looks like we're in for a bit of an active pattern. And here real quickly is our long-range forecast. And interesting that the GFS now is bringing back the 594 height contour, the heat bubble, you might say. And this is a large ridge over the eastern half of the country, but is southeastern part of the country. But as you can tell, certainly the possibility we might see some isolated showers, and that is certainly indicative that we may have still a late warm August. So we'll be watching all of that. So very active weather pattern. Thanks for staying tuned to the Weather Xtreme video. I expect to have the next one posted Sunday morning around by 8:30 or so. Certainly hope that you have a great Saturday, and God bless.